All right, welcome back again. We got Tuesday's video lesson. Here we go. Number one on the warm-up, solve the following inequality. First step, we got to over-under distribute 3 times 2n, 3 times -4. So we have 6 times n minus 12 is all greater than 20. First step, I have to add 12 to both sides. 20 plus 12 is 32. I have 6 times n is greater than 32. Divide each side by +6. My inequality stays. N is greater than 5 1/3. You'll get a weird decimal, but just hit FD. Switch it over to a good fraction to be able to check your work. Number 2, Mr. Sanchez bought 2 magazines and 1 notebook. And then we have a sales tax and a total cost for Mr. Sanchez. So first step, figure out how much did he spend on those 3 items. $34.85. That's the cost before the tax. They were charged 6% sales tax, meaning they were charged $2.09 in tax. That's an additional fee, meaning gives us a final answer of D, $36.94. Number 3, angle A and B are vertical or opposite angles. We have angle A is 55 degrees, angle B is 2n minus 10, determine the value of n. First thing I did was draw out 2 opposite angles or 2 vertical angles. 55 is the same as 2n minus 10. Opposites are congruent, they are the same. So we were just trying to solve a 2-step equation, adding 10 to both sides. 55 plus 10 is 65. Divide that by 2 and you should get 32.5 or 32.5. And last one, determine the area of the figure shown below. Well, first thing I did was go ahead and break my shapes apart. I see a semicircle. Again, it's a circle divided by 2. And we also have a triangle, looks like a cone, almost like an ice cream cone. First thing I tried to determine was what was the area of the half circle. We have a diameter of 12 because it goes all the way across from edge to edge through the middle of the semicircle, meaning my radius was half as big at 6. Pi times 6 to the second power is 113, but again, I need half that because I only have half of a circle, meaning the approximate area was 56.5. From there, my triangle, 1/2 base times height. I have a base at 12 and a height of 7, so 1/2 times 12 times 7 gave me a grand total of 42. Again, I had the area of my half circle and my area of my triangle. Add them together, should have got a total area of 98.5. All right, from there, little activator today. Take a look at using the chart below. Tell me the range of the data set. Go ahead, pause the video. When you're ready, unpause. So here we go. A student recorded the temperatures over a 5-day span and placed them in the graph or the table below. So it asks, what's the range? Well, the first thing, we could put these from least to greatest order, or again, using a strategy like using the highlighter on your screen to highlight the biggest number, 61 degrees, and the smallest or the least temperature, 27. Again, range is the biggest thing minus the smallest data set. So we have a grand total of 61 minus 27 is 34. We have a range of 34 degrees. Today we're going to be looking at some percent problems. So at this point, pause the video again, take about 30 seconds to a minute, go ahead and find the percent of these numbers or the fraction of these numbers. When you're ready, unpause the video and we'll go over it. Again, number 1, 15% times 84 is 12.6, 7.5% of 14 is 1.05. We have 1/8 of 42.50 would be 5.31, and then 3/5 of 20 or 3/5 times 20 is 12. So again, the percent or fraction multiply to figure out what of something is. From there, solving percent problems, we're going to find the percent, we're going to multiply it, and then we're going to add or subtract the original price depending on the vocab of the problem. So first one, Lisa has 7% sales tax on all items. If the student bought a notebook for $1.52 binders that cost $1.25 and 1 pencil for 75 cents, what would their total bill be? Again, I see sales tax, I also see a percent. So just kind of going through that problem, thinking about what strategies do I have to use. First thing, well, I have to add up my subtotal. So $1.50 plus $1.25, another $1.25 and 75 cents means that they spent $4.50. They were charged 7% on that $4.50 purchase, meaning they were charged $0.31 or 31 cents in tax. Tax is an additional fee, meaning they would have spent a grand total of $4.81. Example number 2, Rick bought all 3 shirts for $18 each. When he got to the register, he had a coupon for 1/5 off his total price. And what was the price of the shirts after the discount? Well, first thing we had to figure out was how much were the 3 shirts. 18 plus 18 plus 18, or I could have did 18 times 3, means that 30 shirts were $54. He was charged or used a coupon for 1/5 off that price. Again, 1/5 of 54 is 10 and 4/5, but since we're talking about money, I hit FD, I changed it over to a decimal, $10.80 he took off the bill. But they wanted to know, what was the price of the shirts after the discount count? The original 3 shirts were $54. I'm taking away $10.80 for a final price of $43.20. That would be the sales price of those shirts. So again, multiply percents, read carefully, what are they asking you to do based on vocab. Going over generating expressions a little bit differently here. So, at the mall, an item is on sale for 20% off the original. If the original costs X dollars, which 2 expressions correctly show the price after the discount? Well, I know I'm multiplying percents, and I know this word off means subtract. And the original price is X. So again, I know that I'm taking something away from that original price. So right there, I'm going to look at my answer choices. Well, it looks like I could eliminate this answer choice because that is going to be something that's greater than 1x. But I know I have something less than 1x. Well, then this 20% off. Well, I multiply 20% times x. 20% is a decimal, it would be 0.20. And I know that I'm multiplying that. So there would be my first answer. I have the original price minus 20% of that original price. Then I have to think, well, this is also combining like terms. I have one whole x, and I'm taking away 0.20. That doesn't mean that I have 0.20 left, and I'm definitely not having more than 1. That means I would have 80% of the original x. So again, 1x minus 20% of that x would just be the rest 80% x. Second one, Mecklenburg County charges 7% sales tax. I'm going to stop right there. Again, I know I'm multiplying 7.5, and I know sales tax is an additional fee. If a product costs N dollars, there's my original price. Which 2 expressions correctly show the price after the sales tax is applied? Well, first thing, I know I'm adding something to it. So I can look at my answer choices. It looks like answer A has subtraction, so I'm eliminating answer choice A right from the beginning. The other 3 choices all have addition, so I got to think further than that. Well, I know that I'm adding something to n. Well, they all have n plus something, except for answer choice D. They have 0.75 n. Well, I know that I'm starting off with the original price of n, so again, that still has B and C as possible. Then I got to think, what is 7.5 as a decimal? Well, I have 7.5%, and I know if I move the decimal 2 spots to the left, and if there's any placeholders blank, I have to put a 0. So the only answer that actually has the correct percent multiplied and added to the original is B, and 1n plus 0.075 is 1.075n. All right, from there, working backwards, last thing we're going to cover today, the price of an item after the tip is 15%. Or after the 15% tip is $58.65. What was the original cost of the dinner? All right, we have a couple of answer choices. They all could represent what the original cost was. So I know that this is the final price or the total price they paid. And I know that it was the original cost was less than that because they added 15% of the original. So I can think to myself, is there anything that would be eliminated? I know that the price has to start less than 58. They're all less than 58. So I'm going to have to use some kind of guess and check strategy. Well, I know that these all represent the original cost, or what we think would be the original cost. And we know that we multiply that times 15%. So the first step would be to go through each problem and multiply the percent. But the original, that's just going to give me how much that additional thing was, or the tip in this problem. So I'd have to add it back to the original. So again, this one should have been 54. I wrote 45 plus 54 would have given me $63.72. Answer choice B, when I add it back in, gives me $58.65, what I was originally looking for. So B should be the right answer. But again, just check out all the rest. First thing I did was multiply. These all, the blue numbers represent how much they left as a tip. But I added them back to their original amounts. And the only one that gets me to $58.65 is answer choice B. Again, if you want to try the one below, pause the video, give it a try. Stores have it at a discount, 25% off. If the sales price of an item is $93.75, what was the original price? Well, this time I could think to myself, well, I know this is the price after the discount, so it used to cost more because I know when something is on sale or discounted, I pay less for it. So originally that must have been more. Well, I think to myself, only C and D are more, so I'm not even going to waste my time answering A and B, because if I get $90 and I take away something from it, it's less than 90, and I need it to equal 93. Again, 85, I take something away, it's less than 85. So C and D, I multiply it times the original 25%. C, I get $25 off. D, I got $31.25 off. Well, the last step is I have to take it away from the original. So $100 minus $25 is $75. $125 minus $31.25 would give me $93.75. Again, it doesn't get me back to the original problem. Okay, so today, just working with a bunch of percents. Go ahead, get your Bitly done. When you're done, raise your hand, and that is the end of the Bitlys.